This is the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAT.
Gold heading back to Lawrence County.
Your home for the County of Champions.
Settles under it. The senior makes the catch. Perfection. The Shannick, again, are your Class 2A state champions.
Force out the third, and that will do it. Mohawk is your 3A softball champions.
Buzzer's going to sound. Union repeats as the Class 1A WPIAL champions.
The top local athletes and the top sports moments all featured here, live or archived at lcsportsnet.com.
Sideline getting by one defender, and he's going to go all the way by Harrison. Harrison on the ground finds Blundo. Blundo rolls it in, up and good for two.
Shallow right field, giving a run, and a sliding catch made.
Down to 6 on the play clock. Here's the snap in the hold. The kick is up. The kick is long enough. It is good.
That's fly ball deep right field. Get out of here.
Hope running for his life. Throws it up for grabs. There's a man open.
Touchdown.
No way!
Ripped away from him. Right back to Stanley from the seat of his pants, and he throws it off the window and in.
Featuring over 100 broadcasts of county events in over a dozen sports. Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.
Coming to you live from Warrior Stadium for WPIAL Girls Soccer Action, the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Tonight we have Section 1 Class 1A action, the Mohawk Warriors taking on the Southside Area Rams. Tonight's broadcast at lcsportsnet.com, watching on Facebook Live and on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. It's brought to you by Maley Chiropractic, by MVP Insurance, by Penn Ohio Bottled Water, by the Newcastle Transit Authority, by Medora Bonner Law, by Gem Builders Incorporated, by the Red Zone, by Ponch's Insurance, by Joseph's Marketplace, by Works in Progress Paint Services, by Gem Builders Incorporated, by the Crane Room Grill, by the City Rescue Mission, Specialty Cookies by Lori Heights, the Tri-County Principals Association, the Mohawk Education Association, and by the Lawrence County Community Action Partnership. Mohawk coming in on the year 1-2 in section play here in Section 1 Class 1A. They are 3-2 overall. Southside winless in their first 5 games, 0-3 in section play, 0-5 overall, though they have played competitive games in what is a very difficult Section 1 of Class 1A. I'm James Dotson. We left the work wife at home. Lee Moan gets to sit on his couch, so I bring my own wife, Miss Alex Dotson, joining on the call. And, hey, we're back covering soccer. It's a beautiful night, and we're playing on the big field tonight, Alex. They're excited to be many games on the big field here this year at Mohawk.
Yeah, I mean, high school soccer, there's to me, nothing more exciting than getting to play in the stadium. It feels so much more real. You've got the lights on overhead, and honestly, this weather could not be better. The past 3 weeks, honestly, could not have been better weather. A little bit cloudy, nice and warm, slight breeze, but not so much that it's going to throw off any long balls. Should be a good game.
We won't talk about the last 2 Friday nights when you talk about the weather with some storms and rain delays, but you're right, the weather 98% of the time, except for those 2-hour windows for Friday night football, maybe have been an answer. Who cares about that?
Football?
Because we got Monday night football here between Mohawk and Southside. Mohawk 1-2 in section play, but that one section win, Alex, a huge one, taking down the back-to-back defending WPIAL champion Freedom Bulldogs. The first time in over a decade that Mohawk has beaten Freedom. I mean, you're snapping a 14-game losing streak against one of the top teams. You know that you're playing some good soccer right now.
Yeah, that's huge. And in talking to their coach before the game, he had talked about how in this section, the best teams in the section seem to have stayed pretty on par with where they were. They're still excellent teams. But the basement of the section, the teams that were coming in, not doing super well throughout the season, the past couple of seasons, have all elevated their play. And that's something that we're looking at out of both of these teams. With Mohawk getting that big win over Freedom, and with Southside coming in, they're winless on the season. But like you said, they've been competitive in every game, and we can look for them to be competitive here in this game tonight.
We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have your Crane Room starting lineups, your works in progress keys to the game, and the opening kick here from Warrior Stadium. Mohawk taking on Southside here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Just like going to the doctor, our homes need a checkup too. If your home is not properly weatherized, you could be at risk for symptoms that cause unhealthy ailments and higher utility bills. The Weatherization Assistance Program is the key to reducing utility costs and increasing comfort in your home. Services include an in-home energy audit to inspect your furnace and hot water tank, check for air sealing around windows and doors, and ensure adequate insulation and ventilation. Learn more at lcap.org or call the Department of Healthy Homes to get your checkup today.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game. Looking for a unique way to expand your business? Advertise on the Lawrence County SportsNet and be seen by thousands of viewers in the area and around the country on over 100 broadcasts each year. Visit lcsportsnet.com and click Advertise with LCSN.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in the Shannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
Contractors, the Department of Healthy Homes needs you. From small to large residential projects, you can help families live safer and healthier with the quality work you do. It's rewarding in more ways than one. Call LCAP's Department of Healthy Homes today.
Hey, Mom, do you need a ride to the store today?
Oh, no thanks, hon. I got it covered. Mike's taking me.
Okay, well, you have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, right? I can take you to that.
No, I got it covered too. Mike's taking me.
Mike?
Yes, Mike's my ex driver. Picks me up right at my door and even helps carry my groceries. It's so convenient to schedule and ride with Axe. Wish I would have called him sooner.
Okay, Mom. Sounds like you got it covered.
I have an apple pie ready to eat. How about you help me with that?
Works in Progress Painting wishes a successful and satisfying season to all the Lawrence County sports teams and athletes. Work hard and bring honor to your team, school, and family in how you play. Joe Wright and his family have been providing painting, window cleaning, and other property services for business and homeowners in the Lawrence County area for over 10 years. Their goal on every project is to provide a meaningful service that honors their customer, God, and their family, and to have fun while doing it. Works in Progress is now booking interior painting projects for both residential and commercial projects. Call Joe today at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next project.
Just a few minutes away from kickoff here at Mohawk Warriors Stadium. Well, let's turn it over to Mr. Manny Retor. We'll let him do the work with tonight's starting lineups. They're brought to you by the Crane Room.
Senior captain number 33, Elena Kelly. Sophomore captain number 44, Palkovich. Junior captain number 19, Cassidy Lukatic. Sophomore number 3, Ava Kelly. Senior number 4, Brooke Meganvaughn. Freshman number 6, Josie Stab. Senior number 7, Aubrey Miles. Junior number 12, Mackenzie Fedorka. Senior number 15, Sadie Johnson. Senior number 21, Hannah Reed. And now the starting lineup for our Lady Warriors. Captain number 1 playing center back, Morgan Gabriel. Captain wearing number 2, attacking middle, Ava Ernst. Captain number 18 playing right middle, Ellie Whippo. Number 4 playing center middle, Audrina Cox. Number 7 fullback, Taylor Logan. Number 8 striker, Audrey Whippo. Left middle number 9, Gabriella Palladino. Fullback number 12, Grace Oliver. Defensive middle number 13, Amara Pugilai. Goalie number 16, Cassie McConnell. And playing center back number 23, Caitlin Bradley.
So there are your Crane Room starting lineups. Grab a seat at the bar, the dining room, the loft, or outside on the patio. There's plenty of room at the Crane Room, or you can place an order for takeout as well. Dinner, homemade desserts, even a crowler to go. Let's take a look as well as at our Works in Progress Paint Services keys to the game. Alex, with this one, let's talk just about both teams in general. Both coaches saying that they're at least starting in a formation of a 4-2-3-1. Just talk some about the keys to success, especially with that formation of getting the most out of that formation for your team.
Yeah, so the 4-2-3-1, I mean, you can look at it several different ways, but I would say look at it in terms of groups of 3. Right, you've got 4 across the back, but you also have left back, left center back, left defensive mid. That's a unit. Same on the right side. Then you've got your 3 midfielders, the 2 defensive mids and the attacking mid. That's a separate unit. Then you've got your left wing, your striker, your center mid. That's an offensive unit, and same with on the right side. And all of those, that should indicate like where your next pass should be, or at least where your options to pass are. You should be looking within those units that are kind of overlapping like Venn diagrams. In that kind of system, the number 10 player, that player who's the attacking mid, is going to be essential because so many of those units involve that player. They've got to have their head on a swivel. They've got to be ready to look wherever it is that they can distribute the ball to create new openings and different points of attack.
Those are your works in progress keys to the game for the formations for both teams tonight. Give Joe Wright a call at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next painting project. Mohawk wearing the all-red kit as the home team. There with the white numerals, and on the other side, south side, wearing the all-whites with the black numbers. And Alex, we were talking on pregame. Yeah, that's flip-flopped. Flipped about 5 or 6 years ago now with the colored team at home and the white being on the road, matching high school football on Friday nights, but basically those are the only sports that do it in that form.
It makes me furious. That's all I have to say about it. White should be home.
Mohawk, the early possession. They're with their Audrey Whippo trying to work it back up the pitch. One of the top scorers for this Mohawk team. Talking with coach for the game. A lot of opportunities for her on the year. 3 goals, but it feels like it could be and will eventually be a lot more than that. Here's a good ball down the far sideline. Ellie Whippo, the older sister, using her speed. She crosses to the middle, and a chance right out the bat, and it's in the back of the net just 40 seconds into the game. The cross from Whippo.
And that ball out wide there, I believe, came from the number 10 player. What's her name?
Oh, it came. So the cross. So yeah, there's your triangle right there. It went from
her.
Yeah, from Audrey Cox to the
there we go.
To the elder Whippo to the younger
Split
Whippo.
wide to the elder Whippo on the outside, and then she plays a perfect ball across. And that ball across is especially perfect because it's coming out in an angle away from the goal and toward the player running onto it. And all she had to do was get something on it, and it went in the back of the net.
Just 40 seconds in. You can't ask for a much better start than that one right there. Mohawk with the lead. That's a team-high sixth. Actually, no, it does not go as an assist for Adriana Cox, the attacking mid, as you alluded to. She does not get the official assist, unfortunately, but she's the reason why that goal begins.
Yeah, she's the playmaker there. It's not like hockey.
Yeah, only one assist each, unfortunately. Southside looking to respond and that's also big too, Al, because Southside has only scored 3 goals on the year. 2 of them have been by their main scorer in Melania Palkovic. Mohawk again, great ball on the far sideline again. Whippo giving chase, that's Ellie. Crosses looking for the middle, but a little bit behind the cutter. I believe she was looking to get it back to Adriana Cox in the middle. Audrina Cox, thank you. No, I promised Dad and head coach Joe Cox I wouldn't screw that up, and I'm already 0 for 2.
It's all right. I couldn't remember her name, and I couldn't think to look at my roster. I am an amateur.
Yeah, rusty. How about this? A long effort from Ava Ernst, and just getting a fingertip on it there was the goalkeeper in Eden Schreier. And I'll tell you what, she needed to, Alex.
Yeah, good on Schreier to get a finger on that. I mean, she could have just figured, oh, it's going wide, but I think that would have snuck in the side panel if she hadn't gotten something on it.
Leading goal scorer on the team, and Ava Ernst, she saw that was open, that the goalie was off of her marks, was Eden Schreier. But the senior able to get just a fingernail on it, but here's your first red zone corner kick of the match. And it's going to be taken short, looking to get it to Whippo right back, and good job just to slam it out of there by one of the Southside defenders. It will still be a Mohawk throw here in the attacking third, and really Mohawks had all the attack here in the first 3 minutes of play.
Yeah, that's smart defense, though. You got to get that ball out of there, give yourselves a chance to reset.
Southside has played pretty good defense in a lot of their games over the course of the year, including a couple of really close contests, 2-1 losses to Carlinton and Riverside, and a 3-1, a very respectable scoreline against Our Lady of the Sacred Heart, one of the 4 playoff teams that are in this section, 4 returning playoff teams, I should say, who made the postseason last year. Whippo trying to work back and regain possession, but it's going to be last touch. Yeah, they do say it was last touch by Southside, so it will be a Mohawk throw. Give a shout out to Southside coach Lee McCutcheon, and if that name sounds familiar, yes, that is a relation to Mohawk football coach Tim McCutcheon, cousins. He took a drive up before the match started to go say hi to cousin Tim as he was out with the Warriors football team. Homecoming this week. Mohawk hosting Beaver Falls on Friday. Good hard challenge there, but coming in a little bit late and picking up the foul is going to be Morgan Gabriel, and down on the pitch, and that's not what you want to see, holding the shoulder. And to make even worse, that's Melania Pavlovich, the top scorer on this Southside team.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like fairly incidental contact. It wasn't malicious, but I don't think either of them fully knew how quickly the other one was moving at them.
Mohawk with a 1-0 advantage on the Audrey Whippo goal, crossed in from big sister Ellie Whippo. But now the concern for junior midfielder Melania Pavlovich. And what you can hope, Alex, I mean, she reached for the shoulder, but what you can hope is that it might just be, the wind knocked out of her a little bit as she landed hard on that right side. Able to get to her feet.
Up and walking off the field.
Well, I hope we can see the junior captain make her way back out onto the field here over the course of this one, but she'll be taking a good look at there by the training staff. It looks like checking in for number 10, and I didn't have a number 10 on my roster, Alex, so we're going to have to double check that one here in a minute. Long free kick controlled by the Mohawk defense. They're going to try to push it back up. Good steal away there. Nifty move made by Fedorka. That's Mackenzie Fedorka trying to work one-on-one around Morgan Gabriel, and she does. Good job to keep it in bounds as well. This takes a deflection and will go out. It should be a corner, first one of the game, coming up for Southside. Looks like Sadie Johnson, senior midfielder, will take what will be an out-swinging corner here under the lights at Warrior Stadium. Low drive, pinballs right at the edge of the 6-yard box, but only red jerseys able to get their foot to it.
That's an ideal corner kick right there. You want to have people crashing on that ball hard, but unfortunately it looked like most of them had gotten ahead of the ball by the time it was kicked.
Yeah, far post when it kind of stayed near post as it pinballed around. This one out of bounds. It'll be a Southside throw-in just 5 minutes into this evening's contest. Look how Mohawk gets it right to one of their top players, Eva Ernst, and she's going to try to go long over the top, trying to counter against Southside. On the far side now, Audrina Cox gets around one defender. Lime green shoes stopping on a dime, looks to set it back up, gets it in to Whippo, trying to put it up in front, but I think coming back from an offside position was Ernst. Actually, excuse me, that was Audrey Whippo who was out in front, the striker. Controlled there easily by Schreier, but her punt goes out of bounds. But you can see the quickness, using the speed Mohawk is.
Absolutely, yeah. They've got a ton of speed up top, and there are going to need to be some adjustments made by Southside to try and shut down particularly the attack coming down the left defensive side, right offensive side.
Another one-on-one battle, this time between Gabriel, and Gabriel, I think, upset with herself. She had more time than she thought. Just kind of kicked it out of bounds there, Alex.
I think she was kicking herself for not using her weak foot.
Short throw in taken there by Lena Kelly, one of the captains, is going to go out of bounds. Males, the last one to touch it. They didn't have the fancy, multicolored shoes back when you played, did you, Al?
How old do you think I am?
29.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Good play with the outside foot, trying to go with a 1-2 combination. Gabby Palladino making the run. Good job to stay on side, too. How tough is it to get young players, Alex, to understand the offside rule and be able to execute it properly?
Much harder to get offensive players to understand it than defensive players, and I think it has to do with a willingness to learn. I think sometimes offensive players think, well, if I don't really know the rule entirely, then, it's not my fault if I'm offsides. But defensive players think, if I know this rule, I can throw my hand up and get them offside.
Reagan Tate was the one giving chase here on the near side. 1-2 play, dropping it back, now giving on the run, trying to get up there again is Palladino, just casually flicked out of bounds by Kelly for a Mohawk throw. Talking with Coach Cox of Mohawk, talked about this team, especially the sophomore class. 10 sophomores, many of them have played together for a long time, and unfortunately you don't see a whole heck of a lot of that because the youth programs just don't exist like they used to in these smaller communities, Alex. It's cup or nothing at this point.
Yeah, it's a real shame. Cup soccer is fantastic for developing players to an elite level, but it's at the expense of just basic community soccer. People get involved in cup teams so early. Other people who aren't involved in that just move on to other sports, and I think that high school soccer suffers as a result.
This cross, another beautiful one put in there by Ellie Whippo. Just getting a fingertip on it was the goalkeeper. Now trying to go in through a phone booth as Audrey Whippo. Her shot partially blocked. Cross in front, and it's in the back of the net.
She was onside.
Staying behind the ball, Audrina Cox, her third goal of the season. Give Audrey Whippo the assist on that one. Actually, no, I believe as we check out our LCAP instant replay, no, it's actually coming up. Check that again. Yeah, it's Gabby Palladino who will get the assist on that one. about the maturity, though, from the sophomore Palladino. Could have tried to whip that one in on that shot from the near post, but had a better chance. She fought to center it, and she was right.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with this Mohawk team so far. Just their awareness, their sense of when to look long, look for the split ball, versus when to take the shot, when to pass to someone nearby, lay it off to someone. They're really playing smart soccer.
And that's why they have a 2-0 lead. A first-minute goal from the Whippos, Audrey from Ellie, and then Audrina Cox on the scoring end from Gabby Palladino. 2-0 here in section play. Top 4 teams will make it into the playoffs out of the Section 1 here in Class 1A. Good job to keep this one inbounds initially, and a good sliding effort coming back again by Elena Kelly. Right now, Eden Christian at 3-0-1 in section play, leading the way. Olsh at 3-2. Riverside, they've played a couple of tough games, a 2-1-1 record. And then right now, Mohawk and Freedom both at 1-1 would be fighting for that final playoff spot. But again, a game in hand. Mohawk already defeating Freedom this year. First time they've beaten the Bulldogs in over a decade. 2014 was the last time. And that was actually
that's a fantastic turn.
Good turn, as you see there.
Got to get some support, though.
Fedorka looking for help. Good timing. Good step up from the center back. Man, the defense, that was something Coach Cox talked about. The numbers a little deceiving, a couple games that got away from them early, but that defense has been playing really well this year. But you're right, going back to it, it was a good turn by the junior midfielder, Fedorka, for Southside, but was looking for someone to work with the two, Alex, on that play. Just couldn't get anybody quickly enough, and the Mohawk defense stepped up at the right time.
Yeah, we're going to be looking for this to become a Southside phase here because they've been stuck playing defense for so long. They've got to start to work the ball up rather than just send the ball up and maybe get some offense going. It's going to be so tough not having Melodia up there. But hopefully they can start to connect, find different feet. Can't run away from the ball.
And unfortunately, since Melodia Pavlovich went down about 3 minutes into this game, we have not seen her yet, though I do believe she is returning on the cart. Here, the 12th minute. A pair of 40-minute halves in high school soccer. Good job coming well off her line there by the keeper, Eden Schreier. And a better boot from her as well. Gets close to midfield before it's shouldered down, and actually got it all with the arm there, did center back Morgan Gabriel. Really young team, this Mohawk squad. Just 2 seniors on the team. They are their 2 leading scorers on the team, though, so far this year. Ava Ernst and the multi-talented Ellie Whippo. WPIAL champion in Class 2A's 100-meter and 300-meter hurdles. And bad news, as you can see there on the cart going by, it looks like Pavlovich evening could be done. Well out of her box there was Cassie McConnell using all 18 yards. How about this? A first-year keeper really learning the ropes, but you saw in pregame, Alex, you talked about it. Very instinctive, this Mohawk keeper.
She's got great hands. She's good at getting her body behind the ball, which is something that you don't see in young keepers and experienced keepers very often. They always want to be fully extended. But no, just smart, getting her body behind it, getting her hands around it, tucking it in, making sure she's got control.
Yeah, Coach said more confidence each and every game. I mean, only 5 games in her career, but this is going to be a bit of a challenging one. A free kick from about 25 yards away. Coming here for Southside. Right now, there are only 4 bodies in the box. Would you like to see Southside try to push a few more up into the box?
I think they're pretty concerned about the counterattack with all the speed that Mohawk has. I mean, I would like to see more up there because you're not going to win by defending a 2-0 loss. But I think that their primary concern is going to be the counter here.
Ooh, great attempt looking for the back post, but no runner going for the post either, and it just drifts wide for a goal kick. Gives us a chance to Remind you, coming up on Wednesday, we'll have our Penn Ohio Bottled Water podcast, the Beyond the Scoreboard podcast, delivered each week by Penn Ohio Bottled Water. Make sure you stay hydrated out there. Call Penn Ohio Bottled Water for delivery of your 3 or 5 gallon water cooler systems, or you can get cases of bottles delivered straight to your home or work. A couple of substitutes coming in for the first time for Mohawk. One of them, the utility player, so to speak, and freshman Laura McKinney. Coach Cox talked about her ability that and she already has basically played every single position out on the field this year. What does that say? Not about any player to do that, Alex, nevertheless a freshman.
I mean, that's all about attitude, right? That is someone who says, it's not about me. It's about whatever's best for the team. Coach, you need me to play right back? I'll give it a shot. You want me to play forward? I'll do my best, right? That's at this stage, like, that is invaluable as a coach to have a player who's just willing to go out and work wherever you put her.
Now, they wish they could have Mason Anderson, another one of those freshmen. She was slated likely to be in the rotation on the defense or starting right back potentially. Tore an ACL for the second straight year, unfortunately. She's done for the season. Coach says she already wants to be back out on the field. But, you want to talk about how reliable she's been. It takes 2 to replace her. Starting at right back first was Gracie Oliver, and you see Jocelyn Maderick in there right now. Those two have stepped up very handsomely on that defensive front for Mohawk. And again, they've given up 15 goals, but you look at a couple of those score lines, a 4-1 loss and a 5-1 loss in section play as a big part of it. Kind of a half-sliding effort there to knock it out of play. You've liked what you've seen from the outside back, and Elena Kelly actually went off Mohawk for a goal kick.
Yeah, how'd you know that? Because I circled her name?
Because I know you so well.
She's had me grinning several times tonight. She's a very smart player. She's very fast. Really knows her angles in terms of which direction to try to cut them down to force them either out or take a bad touch across the end line. She's a captain. Yeah, I think she's a good player.
Mara Puglia kind of mistimed that one, bounced over her head, but had some help from behind. Now working there in the center back is Caitlin Bradley. Great through ball up to the far side. It's going to be a foot race, and coming well off her line, Eden Schreier had to be able to snag that before Ellie Whippo came running in.
Yeah, that's well won by Schreier. You don't want to have a goalkeeper that hangs back in the goal for something like that. That was smart play by her.
These two seniors, again, they're showing their worth for sure. But the underclassmen, again, this huge sophomore class have been doing some great stuff. Here's going to the near side for Audrey Whippo, and she's going to leave it off. Long shot over the top and just getting a paw on it. Can't believe it is Gabby Palladino. She thought for sure that was going to tickle the twine.
That was a fantastic save, too.
There's your LCAP instant replay. Second red zone corner kick of the evening. Make sure you stop by the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in Neshannock for all of your county sporting apparel needs. Remember, Spirit Sales can help raise big money for your organization. Taking the kick will be Audrina Cox.
Did you see Gabby Palladino setting a pick on that last play?
I did not. What was it, like football, or was it a true pick, or are we going to get offensive pass interference called?
Oh, nothing was called.
Ah, there we go. Good job staying with that play, and Puglia able to at least send it to the sideline, and now nifty move to get around one defender and a second defender, and then a huge collision. Play on, says the officials, and Southside's able to clear it out of danger, but it will go out of play for a Mohawk throw. Gracie Oliver will return as she flip-flops with Maderick. Oliver gets it right back, boots it again, right in the right place to knock it down was Southside, but fighting in the middle, Audrina Cox wins it back. Good switch of the play to the near side. With it there is Palladino. Flips it over the top, was looking for McKinney there in the middle, just out of her reach. Long ball driven in. It's going to go all the way through, and again having to come way out. Love the play we've seen from Eden Schreier, not afraid to get down and dirty. No, don't count for saves, but basically, Alex, she's done that 3 or 4 times already, which have really prevented Mohawk goals.
Yeah, she's from a goaltending perspective, just done a really incredible job. She could do a bit to work on her distribution after she gets the ball either through punting or through throwing. But, I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more from her in terms of where she is between the posts, her awareness of where the runners are, and just her willingness to go out and go to the ground.
Aubrey Mills checked out. We just saw number 11, Summer Leidick, enter for the first time for Southside. Ava Ernst, shot blocked by Lukatic. Right back to Ernst, working in that 10 position. The attacking mid, deflection over the top, and that's Whippo giving chase. It's going to be knocked out of bounds for another corner kick as we hit the midway point of this first half. Let LCAP Early Learning help your little one blossom. Immediate openings in childcare and preschool classrooms across Lawrence County. Give LCAP a call, 724-944-7671. Four players standing basically at the penalty dot as they get ready. They do finally send a non-short corner kick. And it's going to be deflected and then cleared well out of bounds. Again, another corner kick coming up for the Warriors.
I think it actually may have been Whippo who set that pick. My apologies to Gabby Palladino.
8 or 18. This one skying up to get it is Eden Schreier. As there were runners coming in ready to try to nod that one home. Good hands there from the keeper.
But in any case, the reason I bring that up is she is not a very large girl. She plays way above her size. Just like takes up space, demands the ball, does a fantastic job, and that off the ball work that I described as a pick was extremely clever. It was I'm just slowing down here. I'm just slowing down. You need to go around me, and refused to be knocked over by a player who probably could have just thrown her.
Playing bigger than your size. I mean, we talk about that in all sports. Football on the offensive line, basketball, having a guard against guys in the post. And you see it here as well on the soccer field. Right now, it feels like the field slanted to our left. Mohawk has controlled a majority of this. Good job running to the ball, though, by Mackenzie Fedorka to outrun Mohawk and gain possession.
And a great layoff right there.
But getting right back. Puglia steps back in front of it, tries to work it forward. Two-man game, but in an offside position.
Just slightly offside, and it was the defense that caught her off. It wasn't her sitting offside. The defender who was near her stepped up and caught her in that position. Yeah, so well done by the defense.
Yeah, the center backs knew where to be to take that step up. I believe actually it was may have been the freshman Josie Staub who stepped up at the right time, leading to that offsides call. Good battle there, and it's going to be last touch by Mohawk out of play. Gabriel the last to touch it. She was battling with Fedorka. Two more subs coming in for Southside. Again, if you're just joining us, Southside's leading scorer in Melania Pavlovich unfortunately went down about 3 or 4 minutes into this game, landed on her shoulder, and unfortunately we have not seen her since. It's a big part of their game, big part of their offense. They've played pretty strong defense in the last few games.
Well, and I feel like you've seen Fedorka really step up and fill in those shoes a bit. She's been a key player up top, receiving, distributing it, laying it off, occasionally turning and trying to send it when there's really no one else up there, unfortunately. But, they're doing what they can to make it work, but definitely a tough loss for them.
Like you'd like to see a little bit more maybe or maybe you need to have the senior captain, Elena Kelly, who's throwing it in right now, maybe try to work to be part of the offense as well. But as you alluded to earlier, maybe a little worried about this Mohawk counterattack with all that speed.
Yeah, that's a tough call there because while she seems like she would have the skill to contribute in the attack, I feel like she's probably pretty necessary at the back.
Throwing on the far sideline with just over 16 minutes remaining in this opening half. Coming up at the half, we'll have our Joseph's Marketplace scoring recap and get you some creative edge statistical analysis from the first half numbers.
Oh, there are numbers?
There are numbers.
You've been keeping track of things?
Shocker.
That's good.
Coming way out of the box to boot that one away is Eden Schreier.
Fantastically played.
Before Audrey Whippo could get to it.
Yeah, Schreier's got so much going for her. She's got height, she's got athleticism, she's got timing and instinct. She's a neat little keeper.
Mackenzie Miller in for the first time for Mohawk. And Ariel Pulcher in the game for the first time for Southside. How about the Southside team, Alex? When the first game ended with injuries and just the heat exhaustion of that first game played in like 95-degree weather, they said, they ended up with only 9 players remaining at the end of that game that were available to play.
That's so tough.
And, well, since then, though, they've gained 4 more. Talk about how impressive that is, that you've gotten 4 more players to come out and join the team. Might not play a whole lot on these games, but just to be able to do in practice.
Right, yeah, and Coach McCutcheon said that none of them have much experience with soccer, none of these 4 girls who've come out, but as someone who's been at a program at a school with, a smaller soccer team, having people who are interested in joining your team after the season's begun speaks volumes to the girls who are on your team, because that's who's recruiting those people to come out and play. They're not going to want to come out and play a sport they've never played before with a bunch of people who they don't want to be around. So that speaks to the quality of the character of the girls on his team.
That's an offside call. Now here's where the difficulty of the offside call comes in, because the player for Southside who ended up making that play, I believe it was Fedorka, she started in the offside position, came into an onside position to play it, but when the ball was kicked is when she was offside. I think she's actually trying to get that explained. Actually, it was Fedorka explaining it to Pulcher. McKinney on the left wing now. She crosses towards the middle, headed down, actually maybe nosed down there in the middle. Still just right at the edge of the 6-yard box. And now Southside just able to knock it out of danger. Hannah Reed able to take care of it at the end. I think officials smart to stop play for a minute and make sure that Josie Staub is okay. Staub got stabbed in the nose by that ball. Working through a multitude of defenders. Ava Ernst still in possession with it. Can she keep it in bounds? Yes, she can. Her centering pass, though, is just going to be cleared right back out of danger. And Ernst is still down behind the goal line. I think we are going to have a stoppage in play. They're going to check on Ava Ernst. While they do, call us an unofficial Pontius Insurance timeout. Make sure you take the timeout and save money on your insurance. Give Dan Pontius, Jessica Dix, and Tracy Giddings a call to get started today. PontiusInsurance.com. Request your quote for auto, home, business, or life insurance. 13:02 on the clock. Yeah, why don't we take a quick break? The teams are going to go off to the sideline while they take a look at Ava Ernst. Let's take a quick break as well with just over 13 minutes remaining in the first half. Mohawk leads Southside 2-0 here at LCSportsNet.com.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Mathur and David Verratti want to provide you with the level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of the locations in Zingleopole or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win. Proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County SportsNet.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
Ava Ernst was assisted to the cart. Nice having the golf cart out here to be able to get to the players a little bit more quickly around the field like that, and she's already back behind the benches getting looked at by the trainers. Worked as a kind of a hydration break, though, for both these teams. Not nearly as hot, but it's definitely cooling down quickly. Always have to worry about
cramping.
Yes, for sure. Our Penn Ohio bottled water cramp break, as Limon loves going with. Our unofficial cramping sponsor. Not sure how Coach Shez feels about having to his sponsorship go for cramps, but that's fine. From top of the box, Audrey Whippo had it all lined up, said, I'll try it, and Mara Puglia says, hey, give me a run at it, though it's easily corralled there by Schreier. Unofficially her 4th save of the evening. Meanwhile, on the other end, Cassie McConnell has, I believe, only touched the ball once. That foul's going to be called there against Puglia. Try to go shoulder to shoulder, but extended the arm a little bit, says the official. Third foul against Mohawk.
Another big kick coming from Lukadik. And it splits the defense perfectly, but no one's there to run onto it.
Yeah, Fedorka, I think, got kind of tangled up there with the defensive center backs. And tell you what, Coach was really talking about the junior, especially in Morgan Gabriel. Didn't start the season as a captain, but after your first couple of games, you're awarded one of the captain's armbands. That speaks volumes about the play that you've seen from a captain's position on the field there as your center back.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, sure, the play, but also just the leadership, right? Like the trust that your teammates and your coach have in you to make that, to basically call an audible during the season and say, you know what, we're missing someone. We're missing someone in the group of captains. And I think it's great. I think it's great to have at least one defender in your captains because defenders need to lead too.
I mean, did I think that you would give love to the defenders today? No way.
Wow. We've got, I think, 2 captains on Southside's defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a goalkeeper captain.
Yeah, let's give some love to the defense out there for sure.
Absolutely.
Morgan Gabriel got that captain's armband before the Freedom game, and again, the first time that the Warriors have beaten Freedom in over a decade. I have it down here. September 4th, 2014. Mohawk, between then and their game earlier, 0-14-1 against the Bulldogs, and that year was also the last time that they won a section championship. How about this? Playing in the section finale as McConnell comes way out to just clear this out of danger, and actually keeps it in bounds there from Laura McKinney. But how about that 2014 year? The finale of the regular season was a game against Neshannock. Both teams with identical records going into that final game, and Mohawk was able to get the win. I think it was a 2-1 win over Neshannock to get the section crown. It's the last they've had in the last 10 years.
That's a crazy stretch right there. That's an interesting statistic.
Assistant coach Anna Reese was part of that team. We get that right? Anna Bauer, now Anna Reese. We get that right?
I believe that that's correct.
If not, Anna, when you listen back, please feel free to let us know. Or actually let your head coach know, because that's what he thought he confirmed. That one's going to go out of play with just under 10 minutes remaining here in the first half. Those used to professional soccer, still tough to get used to the clock counting down. And no stoppage time either. Hustling back, trying to make the stop, but Fedorka fighting through. Still fighting through, and it's just going to be cleared out of danger there. Caitlin Bradley, the other center back, able to recover nicely. The freshman who stepped up big time on that defensive front. Giving a Southside throw in the attacking third. Gracie Oliver, I believe, the one working it out, working it up the pitch, coming back to it, trying to turn with it. Audrey Whippo, she'll leave it for Ellie, who's now on the left wing with Ernst out of the game. Whippo trying to get it back to Audrey. Ellie on the edge of the box. Ellie into Audrey. Audrey around one defender. Goes one-on-one the goalie, and she roofs it. Did it go in? Yes, it did. Off the post, straight down and in. The Whippo combination does it again. Second time, Ellie to Audrey for a 3 spot on the goal.
I'm glad that official was in the right position, because from looking at it here, I didn't think that had gone in.
Yeah, looking at our LCAP instant replay, definitely was in. And Gabby Palladino might have been a little hopeful because she was the one right on the doorstep ready to slam it home. Had it not. In the 32nd minute, though, Audrey from Ellie for a 3-0 Mohawk lead. You can just see the fight, though, from both Whippos. Would not be denied. Every time it looked like they might lose possession, just in the right position. It looks like they may have practiced that 1-2 a little bit over the course of their...
You can tell they've met each other before. They play like they've met each other.
I wonder if we will also see Audrey working in track and field. Again, Ellie, the defending WPIAL champion in both hurdles events. And Whippo, who's been a mainstay over the last 3 years for this Mohawk team, looking to make it back to the playoffs after missing it last season, missing out on the postseason. Actually won a game, got to technically host a game, but they wanted all games to be on turf in the first round, so by hosting the game was played at Neshannock.
That's frustrating.
It is. You always, I'm sure, preferred playing on natural grass, right?
I did, yeah. And I mean, if you're a team that plays on natural grass, you lose half your home field advantage by moving onto turf. You know, the only thing that's left is that you're closer so your fans can show up. That's very frustrating to have a field that you know fairly well that has different imperfections.
Well, how about this, though, as we have a throw very close to the corner flag from Ellie Whippo. She'll get it in to Audrey, kicked out of bounds again. This is not exactly home field advantage when you talk to Coach Joe Cox. I mean, they have not played on this field very often. This is the most that they've played under the lights, 3 or 4 years worth. And, I mean, here's an example of it. She stepped over the yellow line onto the white line, and Ellie can't believe it as she laughs at herself for the improper throw. I mean, nice that they were able to work the schedules out a little bit better to get more games under the lights this season, but at the same time, it's just interesting when you say, hey, yeah, we're on our home field, but it's not really a home field advantage.
Yeah, that's a fair point. When you play most of your games on a different field other than the stadium, it is a bit less of a home field advantage. But think of it this way. If you play on a turf field, it's going to be the same any turf field you play on. The ball is going to roll the same way, bounce the same way. So if you're playing against a team that always plays on turf, and your home game is now at a turf field and you're not used to playing on turf, I feel like the same holds true, that like it takes away the home field advantage.
Good pass from Ellie to Audrey again. Already with a brace is Audrey. Stops at the edge of the 16. She'll try from distance. Looking for the Hattie, but misses it wide to the left for a goal kick.
And she does a good job there of cutting to the inside. She seems to have a sense for where the defenders are when they're trailing her, and she knows exactly when to cut back and at what angle to catch them completely off and get herself an open shot.
Just to wrap a bow on the turf versus grass concept there, Alex. They defeated Freedom here at home. Freedom normally playing on a turf field. Does it make a difference? Well, potentially.
I think it really does. You got to weight the ball differently on turf than you do on grass.
Ball right up the middle again. 1-on-1 with the keeper, and again coming out big time. Eden Schreier saving the day yet again because, again, Audrey Whippo, the striker. Coach told us in the pregame that Audrey's a player that has played well. There's a lot of goals that should have been probably that haven't been. She's got 2 tonight, and you can see why she's a huge threat. Now 5 on the year.
Is that a team high?
It matches the team high for Ava Ernst, yes.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Haven't seen Ava back on the field yet either after she took a spill over the end line. But both teams, how about that? Both teams leading scorers going down with an injury in the first half of this game.
True.
And Melania Pavlovich just 3 or 4 minutes into the game with an apparent shoulder injury. Have not seen her since. And now Ava Ernst.
At about 13 minutes.
13 minutes remaining, yeah. Ooh. Nifty move to try to go over the top there and try to play advantage, but they are going to get the tripping foul. Fedorka earning the foul. 5 fouls against Mohawk. Clean sheet in that regard from Southside. No fouls given, but the clean sheet that matters is the scoreless output that Mohawk has provided defensively. Long kick will be taken by Lukatic. Knotted down now. Second effort from Hannah Reed going over the top.
Ooh,
Fedorka giving chase. The center back's having to scramble back there, Alex. It wasn't the prettiest in the world, but they were able to get back and get control. And now finally just cleared out of bounds. And actually cleared off the south side to alleviate the pressure. But a good run there right up the gut from Fedorka.
Yeah, there was something about that touch that just popped over the defense and had some backspin on it so that it just, the defenders who were coming back for it almost overran it, had to go back and get it. That was that could have been a very dangerous opportunity for Southside. Unfortunately, they weren't able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, still no official shots on goal for the Rams here on the road. 3-0 your scoreline. Mohawk most goals that they've scored in a section game so far this season. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Good step up by one of the holding mids there, and Puglia gets it right back into the attacking third. And
great communication from the goalkeeper there to call her defender off and say, hey, let me get this in my hands. Let me see what I can do with it. And there's better distribution. Her first couple of punts were out of bounds, but that was much better right there. She's calmed down. She's under control. She's telling her defense what's what. You love to see it.
Yeah, the communication, how key is that communication from the goalkeeper especially to start that communication, not just on balls like that where she wants it and doesn't want the defender to get in her way, but just in identifying where runners are coming and everything.
Oh, it's extremely important, and it's so important that the goalkeeper and the defenders understand that the keeper has the last word, right? You can, as a defender, you can be running backwards and say, hey, you come get it, but if the goalkeeper says no, you have got to make sure that you're taking the action you need to take. You can't just force the goalkeeper into doing something because they are seeing the whole field. You've got your back to the field.
Kind of like a catcher in baseball. You got to see the whole field. That's what your goalkeeper will do for you. As we're under a minute to play here in this first half. Mohawk in control. They're going to get another throw in with about 50 seconds remaining. Will be taken on that far side. I believe that is Maderick who will throw it in.
From behind the yellow line.
Ha! So
was it? Or did she step over?
I think I got a handball on the throw in.
I was like, oh no, I jinxed it. I didn't mean to do that.
Sophomores have to give the seniors some lessons then, right? Time winding down, though. Chance for one final long kick. And we've seen a couple of good ones here from Lukatic, the junior captain.
Lefty.
This one, though, a little bit lower. Mohawk has one final chance to counter. They're going to get it up to Audrey. Does Audrey have a third in her? She splits 1, 2, 3 over the top, and it just misses high and wide. She can't believe it. She thought she had the hat trick in the first half. She'll have to wait until the second half. But wow, what an individual effort there to end the half, Alex.
I'm struggling to find words. That was such impressive ball handling to be able to slice it back at that angle and then cut in between the two defenders. The acceleration there to leave the two of them behind her and get an open shot, just her and the keeper. Yeah, she didn't finish the ball, but, I mean, all of the stuff that she did before that was so impressive. And that's what soccer's all about, right? It's about the impressive stuff that doesn't result in a goal. or the results that do come in a goal. She's got a brace,
sandwiching an Adriana Cox goal. 3-0 Mohawk. That's what really matters right now as the teams head not to the locker rooms, just to the bench for their 10-minute halftime period. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the halftime stats, scores, and figures when we return. 3-0 Mohawk leads on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Since 1911, the City Rescue Mission has been serving our community by providing food for the hungry, shelter for the homeless, and hope for the lost. We continue to love all that come through our doors, extending mercy and providing grace just as God has done for each of us, serving with a compassionate heart and sharing the good news of the gospel and the hope we all have in Jesus Christ, just like we've done since 1911. We can't do this alone, and we continue to need your help.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
At Medore Bonner Law, we're more than just attorneys. We're your community partners. With a combined experience that spans decades, attorneys Jason Medore, Michael Bonner, and Greg Rossitelli are your trusted advisors for all legal matters. From personal injury to estate planning, business law to family disputes, we are here to guide you through every step of the legal process. Our full-service, community-based approach ensures that you're not just a client, but a valued member of our family. Give us a call or visit us online at MedoreBonnerLaw.com for more information.
GEM building contractors and developers have a proven record of performance on any size project. They bring value, local craftsmanship, expert management to meet any challenge. From design construction, from inspection to budget estimation, GEM Builder has been building our community for 70 years.
When it comes to protecting those you love, the businesses you've built, or the things you've earned, you need someone you can trust. Who better to protect your interests than a local insurance agent? Pontius Insurance is a team of local agents helping local residents in Lawrence County and surrounding areas, specializing in auto, home, business, and life insurance. Come see Dan Pontius, Jessica Dix, and Tracy Giddings, and the rest of the team at Pontius Insurance, and receive the personalized service you deserve.
Don't get left out to dry. Call the Penn Ohio Bottled Water Company for the fastest and most efficient bottled water delivery service in the area. Penn Ohio offers bottled water ranging from 16.9-ounce bottles to 5-gallon jugs, perfect for your next event or office water cooler system. Also, don't forget to ask about their custom labeling options. Visit PennOhioBottledWater.com for more information and to get a quote on their delivery services. Whether it's at home, in the office, or on the sidelines, Penn Ohio has you covered.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Medore and David Verratti want to provide you with the level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of the locations in Xenia Leopold or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win. Proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County SportsNet.
Thank you for calling Axe. Where can we take you today?
To work, to the store, to Grandma's house. Axe can get you there, but it's much more than a ride. It's a joyride.
I'm helping people. I'm getting them out of their house. I'm taking them to their doctors, to the grocery store.
They say I'm entertaining. Okay, we laugh, we joke, we sing, we tell stories.
They're like family to us.
Even if it's the same day, to schedule your joyride, call Axe today.
Joseph's Marketplace is Newcastle's favorite family-owned hometown grocery store and coffee shop. Fresh meats and produce, full-line deli, homemade foods, and much more. Joseph's Marketplace has hot foods prepared every day. They also have Newcastle favorites like grape leaves, hummus, and wedding soup available daily. Follow Joseph's Marketplace on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates or stop in to see what's cooking each day. Come hang out at the brand new cafe and bakery, full of great coffee, drinks, sandwiches, snacks, sweets, and free Wi-Fi. In a rush? Go to josephsnc.com and place your cafe order online. Joseph's Marketplace, family owned and operated since 1915.
It's a halftime show here from Warrior Stadium at lcsportsnet.com. A 3-0 Mohawk advantage as the teams head to break here. How about Mohawk with 3 goals on 7 shots on goal, that is, in that first half. Audrey Whippo with a pair of goals, both assisted by older sister Ellie, and Adriana Cox with the goal in the middle in the 9th minute, assisted by Gabby Palladino. First minute and 32nd minute for Audrey, and then Audrina getting the 9th minute goal in the middle. There's your first half scoring recap. It's brought to you by Joseph's Marketplace, Newcastle's favorite family-owned hometown grocery store and coffee shop. You can place a to-go order online at josephsnc.com. Alex Dotson alongside. I'm James Dotson. A 3-0 advantage for Mohawk here at the halftime break. And really, the speed has been killer for sure, Alex. But I know you've been impressed with the play in the midfield. Mohawk leading over Southside Beaver. Alex Dotson alongside. I'm James Dotson. Alex, what have you been most impressed of with this Mohawk attack, especially in the first half? You got Audrey Whippo with a pair of goals, sandwiching Adriana Cox in the 9th minute. The Whippo sisters certainly doing well, as Ellie Whippo assisted on both goals for Audrey, but they've played really solid at all phases of the game here in this first half.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the thing I've been most impressed with is Audrey Whippo, like hands down. But the entire team, front to back, has really made an effort. I've been very impressed with the way that they've been able to build the play out of the back. You don't see them playing a ton of long balls. When you do see a long ball, it's a very measured split coming out of the midfield between the defenders to an attacker running on at a diagonal, which is exactly the type of direct play that you like to see, keeping it out of the goalkeeper's grasp as much as possible, catching the defense flat-footed. So we'll see if they continue to do that in the second half here, and we also hope that that Southside is able to begin pulling something together in their midfield, and putting a press on Mohawk in this second half.
And you can tell trying to go quickly up the field right away there was Southside to start this second half. Those are kind of your keys to the second half, though, Alex just provided for you. Again, your keys to the game brought to you by Works in Progress Paint Services. They're now booking interior painting projects for both residential and commercial properties. Your first half scoring recap brought to you by Joseph's Marketplace. Again, a first-minute goal just 40 seconds into the game from Audrey Whippo, crossed in from Ellie for the first goal. Ellie, again, fighting through on the far side of the field. She's moved from the right midfield to left midfield after the injury to Ava Ernst. So that was a first-minute goal. A 9th-minute goal from Adriana Cox, assisted by Gabby Palladino on a nice cross from the left side to the right. And then Audrey and Ellie playing a little two-man game basically the entire way down the left side of the field, able to get the third goal. That was in the 32nd minute. So a 3-0 advantage for Mohawk as we get going here in the second half. Again, josephsnc.com. Place a to-go order and see what's cooking this weekend. As I know Lee and Jay Moan are looking for some fun weekend barbecue. I know I got at least one more coming there at Joseph's. Here's a long throw into the box, headed out of danger there, I believe. Again, that was number 33, Elena Kelly, maybe there in the middle. Actually, no, check that. That was Lukatek. And quickly get it up the field. That's probably the best counter that you've seen quickly from defense to offense, Alex, that Southside has had, though Mohawk able to weather the storm.
Yeah, I mean, the tough thing is it's a catch-22, right? When you're in this situation and you're forced to defend so much, the automatic thing you want to do is play the ball direct. You want to get it as far away from you as possible, give yourself a break. But in doing so, you are isolating your forwards. They don't have midfielders who have moved up. They don't have defenders who have moved up. They're just up there by themselves in a 4 or 5v2. And so it's counterintuitive, but you've really got to build the play out of the back to give the entire team time to get up, unless you're looking at a straight counter where you're going to play the ball over the top and it's a foot race to it.
Yeah, unless you have the speed galore And that's going to be a stoppage in play, as that's going to be a foul against Southside. I believe Reagan Tager was in an offside position, and she's going to get a yellow card for the contact with the goalie. So your first card of the game. That yellow card brought to you by Madur Bonner Law. Make sure you protect your possessions with a local hometown firm at MadurBonnerLaw.com, a community firm with a personal connection and individualized service.
That's a good play right there, that touch through.
Yeah, a couple of good touches, but then getting sandwiched there was Menegon. I believe coming over was Caitlin Bradley to finally knock it away.
I believe that was number 15, Sadie Johnson, who had that initial touch through that was just very well controlled under pressure.
But that's what you're talking about, though. It's not just kick and chase, but playing a little, possession.
Right. Build the play up from the back so that the entire team can move up with you and you're not isolated up top.
Bradley again making a nice play. There's a two-man game coming to the near side. Can they keep it in bounds? Yes, they can. Off of south side. It'll be a throw-in for Mohawk as it went off of Ava Kelly. Gracie Oliver will throw it in here early in the second half.
That's a great run, great touch, great throw.
Adrena Cox.
She looks to split. Oh, good defense, good defensive positioning
Right in the right spot, and a long shot towards the back post. Adrena Cox saved for the 5th time. Eden Schreier, 5 saves now on the evening. Yeah, five saves on 8 shots. 8 shots on goal, that is. That one takes a weird bounce in the middle. Still loose, and then finally just clearing it towards the sideline. Ellie Whipple's going to keep it in play. She looks across with the right foot, and that saves a shot on goal from a tough angle. Easily corralled there by Schreier. Yeah, get you a couple creative edge statistics from that first half. Officially 7 shots in the first half, 5 fouls to nothing. 5 on Mohawk, none on Southside in the first half. 4 corners for Mohawk, a single corner for the Southside Rams. And a single offsides call against Mohawk in the contest. So a chance to get some bodies forward here for the Rams, trailing 3-0. 3 first-half goals for Mohawk here at home. That one, weird deflection, may have caught the arm of Menegon. Play on, though, says the official. Good step in front, but it just goes out of bounds. Off to the leg of Lukatic. Quickly thrown back in again. Good job to play it back to your defender, then given away by Mohawk momentarily. And won't get it the first time, but they will get the second on the contact there from Cassidy Lukatic. Now Mohawk a chance with a set piece. Be from about 30 yards out.
Honestly, at this level, a little contact like that is nothing to make a big deal of.
Mara Puglia will try to boot it into the box. Actually boots it right into the breadbasket of the goalie. A good boot, but nobody's there to make any fuss with it.
Yeah, you get that at about 5 degrees more to the left, and that's a really beautiful spot to drop that ball because it has enough hang time that your attackers have time to run onto it.
On the other hand, if you're 5 yards closer, maybe you can take a shot, just thinking maybe you can sneak it over the top of if you have a shorter goalkeeper. But I'll tell you what, the way that Eden Schreier is played.
She's got it covered.
Yeah, and she's got some great hands as well. You can saw she skied up for multiple saves in that first half. Coming up after the game, we will announce our Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game Award. Visit Doctors Mitch Maley, Chris Ardrio, or Kelsey Bowser. They've been voted best of the best chiropractor in Lawrence County. Whether it's seasonal allergies, changes in the weather, or just spending too much time on the bleachers, that darn bleacher back. Or maybe you've been hanging out with Rob Nattell too often. Because Rob never carries any of the equipment here for us. The pack mule himself, I know he's the one who needs to make the next trip out to Maley Chiropractic. All those things can be alleviated with chiropractor work. Maley Chiropractic, they're keeping you in the game. Big thanks to our production crew. Rob Nattell working the cameras with Garrett Dolan. Our production, Matt Flannery, Michael Greco. I'm James Dotson, Alex Dotson alongside. Here for what's been a fun game for Mohawk. Here might be the best chance of the match for Southside, but a little bit too heavy on the touch. Able to recover defensively, and then a second touch to get it out of play there by Caitlin Bradley. Able to speed by Mackenzie Fedorka on the outside. It's still going to be a throw-in a dangerous position here for the Rams.
Well, and we've got Elena Kelly here pushing up into the attack. I think my wish is coming true. We're getting some more. Oh, hello.
we're getting a
hello.
We're getting the cartwheel on the throw-in.
Front handspring.
Front handspring. Let's take a look at that LCAP instant replay here on that one.
Beautiful.
We could throw that in for a Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game nomination. I feel like I need to go to the chiropractor just watching that.
Now we've got a corner kick coming. We're getting some real Southside offense here. This is exciting.
Second corner of the match. Right to the edge of the 6-yard box. A great corner, knotted down by the defense and then cleared out of danger. It was Polcher who was closest for Southside, but couldn't get a boot on it. Now here comes Mohawk with some speed in the midfield, looking to counter. Up the middle, looking for Audrey Whippo. She'll get it back off to Cox over the top. Right at the edge of the box. Audrey gets booted away. Good job recovering back by the Southside center back. It will be a Mohawk throw, but you can see again with that speed how quickly they got at the length of the field.
Yeah, and that's what Southside's been so worried about. You know, when we've been talking about, like, you've got to build, you've got to get more people involved in the attack. You can't just sit here and defend a 3-0 loss. They've been worried about that counterattack. There's so much speed coming out of Mohawk.
Ball's in the back of the net, but there was a whistle before. I believe it went over the end line as Whippo tried to work it down along the edge, so it will just be a goal kick. So we come up to a half an hour remaining in this contest. After the game, we'll also have our MVP of the game, brought to you by MVP Insurance. Make sure you get in the game at MVP Insurance, where they coach clients to better prices, better coverage. Call MVP for the win. This one booted sky high up into the lights here at Mohawk. To the near side, it'll go out of play, and this is going to be a throw-in for the Warriors, taken by Maderick.
That's a way to step to the ball. It's good by Fedorka.
But Mohawk able to regain possession. Looking for their first shutout of the season. Defense has played well here in this one. Working the near side is Gabby Palladino. Tried to center, but a little bit off her mark as she was trying to get it to Adriana Cox. A little too heavy on the touch there from Adriana, but you can tell Mohawk, when they're most successful, is they're working it into that attacking mid position. The quarterback of the offense really is Adriana.
Yeah, absolutely. Just being able to find her feet and for her to just cradle the ball and then find its next destination. And it's easy enough to do when you're not under a ton of pressure in the midfield. It's going to be tougher against other teams where you've got someone who matches you in that position. But yeah, I mean, she's just done a great job with her composure, her distribution, her awareness. And it's made everyone around her look fantastic.
The non-fantastic news of this game, again, if you're just tuning in here at lcsportsnet.com, both teams have lost their leading scorer on the year due to injury in this game. Melania Pavlovich, just 3 or 4 minutes into the game on a collision near midfield, landed on her shoulder. as this one's going to drift wide and out of play for a goal kick. And then just over the midway point of the first half, Ava Ernst from Mohawk made a run and went over the end line, and she got kind of tripped up, and she suffered what appeared to be a leg injury. Have not seen her back yet in this game, and probably at this point likely not to see the senior back out there on the field. We haven't talked much about that. I mean, this is a young team, only 2 seniors, but these 2 seniors have played big-time roles in the scoring column especially, but more than anything, the coach would say about the team being connected together. How impressive is that when you have a lot of underclassmen fitting the roles with the seniors up there?
Yeah, I mean, you've got that monster 10th grade class. You've got so many people in that who've played together for years. That certainly helps with overall team cohesion. But from talking to the coach, he says that in the off season, the upperclassmen really stepped up and organized, lifting practices, team bonding, just really trying to get everyone on the same page going into the season. I think that's paying off in dividends.
Yeah, friends on and off the field as well. In fact, talking with assistant coach Anna Reese, who was part of that last section winning team, she's flat out said, she is still impressed at how together they are, again, both on and off the field. That they're not yelling at each other. They're friends. They're great players. They're great students. There's no nonsense, no fighting.
Yeah, so little ego. You're not fighting over who gets to take the opportunity, who gets to shoot. It's all about who's got the best shot.
We saw that just point blank with Gabby Palladino's assist, as she had a chance to probably whip one. It would have been a tight angle. Instead, she plays a better ball into the middle, and that was Mohawk's second goal 9 minutes in, where she found Audrina Cox for her 3rd goal of the year. They don't care about the numbers. This team is gelling, getting better and better. And again, a lot of it has to do with all 11 players. A lot of it has to do with the speedster there on that far side and Ellie Whippo, as she earned that throw. Now here's going to be a shot blocked down. Good job coming out there. Believe was Lukatic again. Still Mohawk in possession, switching it now to the near side. Good turn, centering, and looking for the trifecta. But she had a perfect look at it, did Audrey Whippo, but she showed it to you. Hit off the shin, couldn't get it off the foot. Matt, I don't even think it went through 3. I think it went wide right.
That's where she's just got to open her body up and use her left foot to direct that in the goal. You got to, if you're coming across with your right foot there trying to strike at it, you've got to get it spot on. If you just open up and use your left foot to guide it, you hardly have to move your leg.
Audrey, I would have done the same thing. Actually, no, I would have swung and missed. Let's be honest.
I would have done the same thing too. That's that's why I'm coaching now. That's why I'm not broadcasting now and not playing.
I mean, that too, how tough is it mentally to tell yourself that, hey, I'm going to try to slam this home, as that one, re-corralling it there on the long effort from Puglia. Re-corralling it there was Schreier, and bodies flying behind the play, so it was kind of screened off. But going back to that attempt from Audrey, how tough is that to, say, oh, I'm right here, I want to slam it home. No, you don't have to slam it home, just pass it into the net.
I mean, it's almost impossible to resist. When you're smack dab in front of the goal and the ball comes floating to your foot, you want nothing more than to burn a hole in the back of the net with it. But it's so much harder to do that than it is to just guide it where it needs to go.
Mohawk had a 3-0 lead at half. That's the score. It remains. Trying to work it down to the end line. Can she keep it in play? No, she runs out of real estate. It will go out of bounds for a goal kick. Just over 24 minutes left to play. Well, we don't have an official Chaussee toss, no official 50-50 here tonight, but want to give a shout-out to Specialty Cookies by Lori Heights. Every Friday night, Specialty Cookies in charge of giving us a fun little giveaway. Every special teams point scored on our Friday broadcast this year, Specialty Cookies will donate money towards the new Chaussee scholarships, and at the end of the year, we will be awarding Chaussee scholarships to students in Lawrence County who are looking to go into sports broadcasting or some sort of digital media after graduation. So big thanks to them. Big thanks to Ponch's Insurance as well, helping provide for those chassis tosses on the 50-50s. Whippo gets it knocked right back to her, trying to gain some space, gets in the box. Her cross, trying to get to the edge of the 6-yard box, and again, corralling it, smothering it really like a grenade out there is the goalkeeper, Schreier. Schreier has played well in this one, although 3 goals given up. I'm not sure you can fault her for any of the 3. Another great chance potentially for Southside, but the Mohawk defense comes up big yet again.
Look at that split. Oh.
I think we called her name 4 or 5 times there in the center back position. Caitlin Bradley, freshman, is certainly settling in well at the center back position. And another good defensive play. This time coming all the way back that was Morgan Gabriel. Mohawk defense scrambling a little bit there. Alex was able to maintain control and regain possession there for their squad.
Oh, go to it, Southside. And that was an opportunity there for them where they didn't clear the ball back up. They played it under control toward the middle of the field, and it was just a lack of vision by some of the attackers there.
I had to go check if Rob Natel may have just broken the bleachers down there. You're right down there, Rob. Big thumbs up for him. Big thumbs up coming from Mohawk fans as they watch their squad with a 3-0 advantage. Switch the play to the near side, leaving it off, trying to chip it back in towards the middle, and going to be hitting at the same time in an open net, and she missed it.
That's tough for the keeper there. It looked to me like she had a hand on that ball, and if the keeper's got control of it, it can't be taken away from them. We'll have to see on the replay here.
Yeah, it was tough to see. Can we get that? Can we get that again real quick? Thanks, Matt and Mike. Yeah, it's tough to see. It was right at the beginning of the replay there because they got there right at the same time, and I'd say I thought Audrey had gotten to it first, but yes, if she had gotten a hand on it with hand on top of it.
Right. Yeah, control of it. In any case, it's out for a goal kick.
3-0 score. Mohawk unable to keep that one in bounds. Oliver was there we go. Now we get the signal for the Southside throw. It is difficult for these officials. A 2-man crew for most WPIAL matches in the regular season. It will be a 3-man crew, though not the typical one, again, like you would see at a college or professional match. The double duel system.
And I will just reiterate what I said about the uniforms being flip-flopped.
Not a fan?
Hate it.
Trying to move a little bit too far up there was...
Yeah, having been an official,
yeah,
the 2-man system is so difficult to run.
Well, I mean, the matches we were able to do, the doubleheader games up at Wilmington, there was one where a foul had to be called by the official on this side. I mean, look where the official on this side is. He's at the 20-yard line on the football field. The throw-in is at the 20-yard line on the other side, but technically he's supposed to be able to cover and see everything down that line. We did. We had one of those where there was a foul in the box that he called from the other side of midfield because he was the closest official. And because of that, he missed it. The call was outside, or he called it out when it was inside the box. And it's tough to obviously see from there. Good step through. Good physicality again. Caitlin Bradley, she's making her name. I know we got a 3 spot on the scoreboard, but the way she's played defense, Alex, I know she's got to be a nomination still for your MVP Insurance MVP of the game.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to choosing someone. There have been a lot of players who have earned it tonight, and while it's certainly my inclination to give it to a defender, it's going to be hard not to give it to someone on offense.
Audrey Whippo with 2 goals in the first half, both assisted by Ellie Whippo. Also a goal for Audrina Cox in the first half, assisted by Gabby Palladino. Those goals in the 31st, 9th, and 32nd minute, respectively. Looks like they're going to flip a couple things around. There's, again, Laura McKinney. Let's give her another shout-out as the...
Did you see that throw?
Yeah, I was going to say, was that another?
That was another flip throw. That one went like 30 yards.
Another handspring throw from inside your own half. I'm not sure I've seen that one utilized, but hey, that's another way to just get the ball out of danger quickly. I don't think Mohawk was ready for that. It's now the Warriors again regaining possession. Trying to go through a phone booth there. They're all over Ellie Whippo. Lets it go out of play for a throw-in. Tries to work it into Audrey. Audrey turns towards the middle. Looks for a centering pass. No one there. And scrambling all the way out and finally diving on it there is Schreier with 17:20 remaining here in the contest.
That's, again, a smart call by her to chase that ball the whole way out there because you had Mohawk on the other end of it waiting to serve it back across the goal.
No real out-of-town scoreboard tonight. Let's give a shout-out to our friends at the Newcastle Transit Authority. Why drive when you can relax and ride? Daily routes to Pittsburgh as well as all around Lawrence County. Visit newcastletransit.org for more information and for route schedules. Remember, senior citizens ride for free. Foul is going to be called against Southside. Yeah, big thanks to our friends at the Newcastle Transit Authority. When you go on their website and look at the schedule, though, make sure you look at the right departure destination, right, Alex?
Yeah. Yeah, I've messed that up every time I've taken the bus into work, which is once a week for the past month.
How about that? A long shot. Maybe screened on it. Finds its way into the back of the net. I believe that was Taylor Logan from distance.
Yeah, it took a weird skip off the grass. It's unclear. I don't know if the grass has started to get dewy or if it was just misjudged by the keeper. But it just skipped right by her.
So that would be in the 64th minute of play. Fourth goal of the game. This one by Taylor Logan from about 35 yards out.
Was what? Oh, get the clock going. Get the clock going.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Clock now rolling again. 4-0 advantage after Taylor Logan's goal there in the 64th minute. 13 shots on goal tonight. Alex, impressive stuff from Mohawk here this evening. And well-deserved 4-0 advantage.
Yeah, I mean, the way they're playing, they are a force to be reckoned with this year. And, you know, I feel like I've given a lot of love to the Southside defense. I think I've made that very clear. But I got to shout out Mackenzie Fedorka because she is doing so much for the offense right now for Southside. I mean, it is extremely challenging. Like I've said throughout the game, they're a little bit isolated up top because of the amount of pressure that the Mohawk offense is putting on their defense. But, you know, if she can get to a ball, she's hustling to get there. She's looking to find whoever's around her, see if she can lay the ball off to them. She's giving advice to other players who are unfamiliar with the position, who are, you know, stepping in because of the injury to Pavlovich. But, yeah, I mean, just seems like a really good player in a difficult position this evening.
And hoping to see Pavlovich back, but definitely will not see her tonight. Hopefully she can make her way back for maybe if not the next game, the second half of section play. And a home and home here in Class 1A for Section 1. And the playoffs beginning in the middle of October. If any of our county teams make it for soccer or for volleyball, we'll cover as many of those games as we can. Couple Mohawk players tangled up there. Good job fighting through it. Kind of 1-on-3, really. The defender, the one, winning that battle. Polcher really is the lone attacker right now for Southside. She loses possession. Quickly back into the attacking third. Audrey Whippa will come back to it. Drops it off. Cox going one-on-one there with Mackenzie Fedorka. And then nothing called. They're saying play on, maybe a little advantage for Mohawk, and now advantage lost. Physicality definitely increasing as this second half is going on. Cox will try again to get around Fedorka. To the near side. Knocked back down. Battling there with Sadie Johnson. Long ball. Well out of her net is going to be McConnell, and she'll just boot it back towards midfield and out of danger. 13:30 remaining.
Yeah, normally I favor just letting them play, and I've had to bite my tongue from saying area man learns that girls soccer is contact sport too. But that was a little much. The refs are going to have to watch that and make sure the game doesn't get out of control as we get into the waning minutes here.
Oh, and that's it right there. You just don't want it to get out of control.
Right.
Clearing it back up the field there, Amara Puglia. And unable to keep it in bounds for Southside is Ava Kelly. We're going to have a couple more substitutes coming in with just under 13 minutes to play. Corner kick earned. Red zone corner number 5 of the game for Mohawk as they look to put their 5th goal in the back of the net here tonight. At a 5 spot up at Mercer. They also have a victory 10-2 over Sharpsville earlier in the year.
That's not a common score line.
No. I know Sharpsville definitely low on their numbers for their team this year.
Yeah, it's the 2 that's more surprising than the 10. Like normally, if you've got a a score line that's that different, it's a clean sheet.
Well, and you wonder too. I mean, no idea for sure, but I guess my first thought, Alex, would be that there was something. You put different players in, and that sort of thing. Maybe a new goalie going in for the end of the game.
That's true.
When you think about it, though, too, you can almost say that this is the last true girls program in Lawrence County here of Mohawk, because the only other teams that have a girls team this year, Elwood City moved to a co-ed this season, and Wilmington and Neshannock were both very low on numbers. They've co-opted, so it's Wilmington with Neshannock players also on the team. So this is the only true, quote-unquote, in-house team that you have for Lawrence County soccer.
It breaks my heart.
Couldn't quite get around the ball there. They'll go out of play for a goal kick. But a lot of that goes to the youth program, and I asked Coach Cox about the youth program a lot. He actually went to one of their co-ed games yesterday, watching some of the 7th and 8th grade girls play, and just hoping that those kids continue to play with soccer, continue to play soccer going up. And he says the same thing with the boys coach, Ryan Palmer, trying to put up some camps and that sort of thing for these youth coaches, because the one thing is just play, but you got to actually learn the game, not just go and play chase and kick at the youth level, right?
Yeah, and the development that takes place like during those middle school years especially. I was lucky enough that at my high school we had a middle school team, and that was so fundamental in like building, because then you can have, coming out the middle school team, you can have a JV team and a varsity team. You just get so many more numbers when you get kids hooked at that age. But it's tough if you don't have the club scene to begin with, because where are you pulling from to get a middle school team put together?
Yeah, because like you said, your elite players are going to go play club, and understandably, it's, that travel mentality or AAU mentality, if you want to make it a baseball or basketball analogy. But soccer especially, to me, yeah, you can have 9 starters on a baseball team all coming from 9 different travel teams and still be able to fundamentally work together. Soccer, it's a completely different animal. It's the biggest teamwork game there is of any of these sports. Speaking of teamwork, good move by Cox with her pass off the mark, tries a second time to get it through to Ellie Whippo, couldn't do so. just off the mark there. But the camaraderie and learning the system, and you can then plug and play right in as a freshman potentially if you came in from the same junior high system.
I'll agree in part and I'll disagree in part because I think the system thing is important there. I think that you can have soccer players who come from a bunch of different teams who can, after a couple of practices, begin to gel and play well together, but it all has to do with their soccer education, how well they understand the fundamentals of passing and how systems work, like whether you're playing a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3 or whatever it is. The fundamentals are still the same, where you're looking to pass the ball, who you're looking to pass it to, when you're supposed to dribble, how to defend, all of that stuff's the same regardless. So I agree in part and I disagree in part. But either way, we don't have kids playing on, 9 different travel teams and coming together to play soccer. We've got kids who play high school soccer for the most part, and then 1 or 2 who will play cup here and there, but yeah.
Well, and very similar to what we heard with Coach McCutcheon of Southside, that you have a lot of players who are, first year playing soccer ever, or first year playing soccer since they were, 5 or 6 years old. It's a completely different beast.
It is, and I've been that coach. Like when I coached down in Virginia, a lot of my players either hadn't played soccer since they were in 5th grade or had never played soccer before, and were just coming out because their friends played and they were excited to be a part of something. And sometimes you get really good players. Sometimes you get really lucky. You've got athletes who just decided they wanted to go out for soccer because they didn't have anything else going on in the fall. And, you got players who are extremely coachable and players who are just the best teammates, who are supportive no matter what. And it certainly sounds like you've got that on this South Side team with the fact that players wanted to join after the season had already started. Like that to me is huge.
Ball right at midfield for this free kick. And at this point, I think if you're the Mohawk coaching staff, you're happy, but you're also wanting to throw a little bone out there for your defense of, hey, let's finish this off and let's make this a shutout victory here tonight. Don't want to give up a cheap one there late in the evening. We have another attempt at a hamstring throw in, but a little bit too low on the throw. Good job coming all the way up to get this one from Audrey Whippo, trying to start the attack. Her pass blocked once and then deflected off of Whippo, but right to the penalty dot, and waiting for it was Schreier. You could tell, I wanted to mention on the last offensive rush there, Whippo tried to drop one off in the middle for Audrina Cox, and I don't know if you noticed, you see Audrina try to get it right back to Audrey. I think they know that she has a chance at getting a third goal here.
They want it for her. I'm not sure if she wants it for herself that badly. She seems happy to spread the love.
Now again, talking with Coach at the beginning of tonight's game, so hasn't found the back of the night nearly as much as she'd like to, but lots of chances, only 3 goals. Coach knew and she knew that they would be coming eventually. As there's going to be a foul against Hannah Reed there at the midfield, and gets the Bronx cheer from the Mohawk faithful. Puglia is going to try for another long one, just a little bit too far out of her range, but she's showing she's got a boot.
Yeah, that is quite a leg.
Give that unofficially as the 10th save of the night. Eden Schreier, the senior, has been very strong in goal. I know a 4-0 scoreline doesn't really reflect that, but
no, I mean fundamentally she's a little weak down low, right? Like when the ball's coming knee height or below to either side, she struggles a little bit there. Anything that is shoulder height or above, she's generally really good at judging where it is, how to get behind it, if she needs to parry it over the bar. Yeah, she's a good keeper.
Yeah, the last goal may be the only one that you could potentially say that she could have done better on, but the same thing with the conditions changing. It looked like the ball kind of skipped, maybe deflected on the way through on the goal in the 64th minute from Taylor Logan. Beyond that, she has been very impressive. Mohawk, though, trying to get one more. Ellie Whippo playing with Audrey again with a little 2-man game. Thought they could connect maybe for a third time tonight. Unable to get that final shot, though, on net. 50-50 ball here won by Puglia, and won it a second time, and then she's going to usher it out of bounds as she did battle there with Mackenzie Fedorka. This hit there from Brooke Menegon goes right back out of bounds. Puglia will look to restart, just under 4 minutes to play. And get right to the midfield for Audrina Cox.
That's a way to play the way you face. That's good.
Finds the opening quickly.
Again there, just really smart play through the midfield to build up the play rather than trying to go directly to the forwards.
Well, the play-to-face idea, too, with that, I mean, we talk about it all the time, but you mentioned with the goalie being the one who can see the entire field. When you play it back like that, that's essentially what you're setting up again.
Yeah, exactly. Giving it to the player who has the vision, who can see where the ball needs to be distributed. The thing is, you got to make sure that that player is calling for it, right? And that player needs to be calling for it. If that's the right option, you've got to make that known. You've got to demand the ball at your feet there. It's tough because a lot of times defenders, and that's who that's going to be, defenders don't particularly want the ball at their feet. When they get the ball at their feet, they want it to be gone immediately. But if you're the defender who's supporting your midfielder there, call for that ball back and see where you can play the ball because you've got the vision. The player who's got their back to the rest of the field doesn't have the vision.
You saw Ellie Whippo check off the field for the last time, you figure, for tonight. The lone senior remaining here this evening, at least, as Puglia is going to take another long one into the box, but it bounces all the way through. So need to get somebody ready to nod that one down or try to pass it along for another chance. But she's showing that she has that long free kick capability.
Yeah, that's an extremely valuable asset to have on your team, particularly a defender who can do that, because then you can lump the ball in even from an offsides call on your side of the field. You can send it 30, 40 yards down, generate an attack from there.
Audrina Cox, again, another chip over the top. Didn't get everything on it with the left foot. It's going to be corralled easily by Schreier. Yeah, Mara Puglia playing right now on defense. Started at the midfield position, but one of those holding mids. And I think that's something we haven't talked about enough tonight, Alex, is that holding mid position and that transition point to get it up into the attack. They've played extremely well tonight, the starters, with her and Gabby Palladino, who has one of the assists tonight as well.
Sorry. Yeah, and I would say, being able to really utilize this system effectively means having two defensive mids who know how to work in tandem with one another, both offensively and defensively, and who feel connected to the attacking mid as well as their two center backs and outside backs. Because those can be such important hinges between the offense and the defense, and if you've got lazy defensive mids, you're not going anywhere.
Good centering pass around the diving goalie, and it's deflected just wide. A great effort at the very end to knock it away, and a high five from the keeper as it was cleared out of danger. I believe he signaled for a corner kick. Yes, he did.
Yeah, that was. If I'm Elena Kelly and I save that ball from going in the goal, and they don't get a corner, and I don't get credited with saving that, I'm mad. I want them to get that corner because I did that work.
Yeah. Senior captain did kick it out of play. The sixth corner kick, another short one taken by Mohawk, right back to the corner kick taker to the top of the box, and this one just bounced up off the top of the boot and is going to go out of play. You can see they got a couple of nifty plays set up there off of those short corners. That one, Laura McKinney just couldn't get on top of the ball. And that's going to be your final kick of the game, actually, there, Alex. The clock is going to wind down. Actually, they're going to stop it with 4 seconds left. Apparently, they'll stop the clock just to allow them to kick it one more time.
I guess.
Ball booted towards midfield. And clock reads zeros. They're still playing the game. Should that be the game? Athletic Director Matt Laporte says, yes, let's do it. And yes, Matt says, stop the clock. Game is over. It is a shutout for Mohawk. 4-0 they defeat Southside here this evening. We'll step aside real quick. We'll come back with our post-game show, get you your final scoring recap, and a couple of awards to hand out. Your MVP Insurance MVP of the game and the Melee Chiropractic Play of the game. That's when we return. It's the Lawrence County SportsNet. It's powered by LCAP.
I love what I do because coming in every day is different.
How can you not enjoy these kids coming up and hugging you and giving you these great smiles all throughout the day?
Seeing the progress that our kids make every single day is one of the reasons I love coming to school.
What should we do? We have fun.
LCAP Early Learning Centers is hiring. Help empower young minds in Lawrence County and become a superhero today. Apply at lcap.org.
I'm Kevin Sapp. I'm president of the Mohawk Education Association. We are one of the sponsors for the Lawrence County SportsNet. We would like to take a moment to wish all of Lawrence County student athletes health and safety as they compete. In particular, we would like to wish luck to all of Mohawk student athletes as they represent our school with pride.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game. Whether you're hosting a big party, it's family dinner night, or you just need a place to go and watch the big game, the Crane Room Grill is the place to be. Need that something special for your upcoming event? Ask about the CR Brewing Company's custom brewing options to give your big day that personalized touch that your guests will never forget. Visit craneroom.com to see their full menu, or call in your takeout order now at 724-656-1553. The Crane Room Grill and CR Brewing Company, a winning combination.
Does your blueprint not match the vision of your building project? Not with Creative Edge Architecture. From concept to creation, Jeff Measel will help tackle the complex problems, creating design solutions and construction experience. Creative Edge gives you the edge design and construction meet.
Works in Progress Painting wishes a successful and satisfying season to all the Lawrence County sports teams and athletes. Work hard and bring honor to your team, school, and family in how you play. Joe Wright and his family have been providing painting, window cleaning, and other property services for business and homeowners in the Lawrence County area for over 10 years. Their goal on every project is to provide a meaningful service that honors their customer, God, and their family, and to have fun while doing it. Works in Progress is now booking interior painting projects for both residential and commercial projects. Call Joe today at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next project.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
Tri-County Principal's post-game show begins here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Mohawk gets the clean sheet, a 4-0 victory over Southside. They are now 2-2 in section play. Southside remains winless on the year, 0-4 in the section, 0-6 overall. Let's get right into your scoring recap, again brought to you by Joseph's Marketplace. Audrey Whippo just 40 seconds into the game, assisted by Ellie Whippo on the cross, but that whole play began with Audrina Cox in the midfield. We have that one marked down. We'll come back to that in a moment. But, Alex, talk about just the play and how quickly they got right off the opening kick into the attacking third and putting it in the back of the net. Well,
they were listening to my opening remarks where I said that it's a matter of triads, right? You got to make sure that you're connecting within your different groups. And they executed on that right away. I take partial credit for that.
well, Coach said you're welcome to come to any one of his workouts anytime you want. So. But, no, that was a great start to the game. Audrina Cox to Ellie Whippo to Audrey Whippo for the goal just 40 seconds into the game.
Yeah, it was a clinic. It was perfection.
And then Audrina Cox getting her own goal, a beautiful pass from Gabby Palladino. That one right on the edge of the box from the left side, right to the top of the 6-yard box, hammered at home in the 9th minute, 2-0 Mohawk. And they would extend it to 3-0 before the halftime whistle. A great two-man game from the Whippos, this time on the near side of the field. Ellie Whippo back and forth with Audrey, and again, Ellie assisting on Audrey's second goal of the night, 5th of the season. It was 3-0 in half, and then Taylor Logan, the only goal of the second half, from about 35 yards out, just a low ball through traffic, kind of skipped a little awkwardly and found its way into the back of the net for the 4th goal of the game to round out the scoring. 4-0 your score. There again is your Joseph's Market scoring recap, family-owned and operated since 1915. Let's get a couple of Gem Master Builders and Craftsmen statistics from the night. How about 14 shots on goal for Mohawk on the evening? 0 shots on goal for Southside. And again, part of that is you lose your main attacker in Melania Pavlovich early in the game with a shoulder injury. Again, we wish a speedy recovery for her. But you could just tell, even before that, Mohawk had the control of the game. It was in their side of the field almost the entirety of the contest. But especially losing Melania did not help. And I never got a chance to check and make sure that the Cassie McConnell was still definitely awake there between the posts by the end of the game.
I don't think that's fair, because just because there were 0 shots doesn't mean there was 0 offense. There were opportunities that were created by Southside. They weren't able to capitalize on them. And, goalkeeper, McConnell. She had to come out a couple of times and clear the ball. She was having to make decisions. She was having to stay active and engaged.
And she did, and credit to her for that, because those are the games that you could very much do that, right?
Yeah. And, it would have been great to see a bit more lethality in Southside's attack, but I think it's hard when you lose one of your key players up top to be able to bring the heat like that. Not only because of who you're missing, but because of the deflated feeling that you get thinking about, like, how long is this going to affect our season? It's tough.
Yeah, again, speedy recovery to her, and hopefully for Ava Ernst as well for Mohawk, who also went down. Both teams' leading scorers injured in that first half. There's your Gem Master Builders and Craftsmen, building your community for 70 years. Your Gem Builders post-game stats. Visit gembuilders.com for more information. 4-0 your final score. We have 2 last pieces of information. Let's start with our Maley Chiropractic play of the game, and Alex has kind of talked about it. Not just that play, but all night working it through the midfield. Audrina Cox is going to get credit for our play of the game. No, she didn't have the goal. No, she didn't have the assist, but she's the reason why that first goal ends up happening.
Yeah, she was the play coordinator on that first one. She was the one who saw the field, saw that she needed to thread that ball through the defense to the player running down the outside, cutting in, and then the play across at an angle. None of that happens without your 10 spot having the vision to make that initial split ball between the defenders for your forward to run onto.
So, Audrina Cox, your Maley Chiropractic play of the game. Maley Chiropractic proud to present today's Play of the Game award to Audrina Cox of Mohawk. She just got her customized t-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of tonight's Play of the Game. You can view the full list of the Maley Chiropractic plays of the game by going to lcsportsnet.com. Click on Play of the Game. Congratulations again, Audrina Cox. Doesn't get the assist there. She did have a goal later, though, in the game, but that is your Maley Chiropractic play of the game. Let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game. As for our MVP of the game, brought to you by MVP Insurance, Coach said that she should have probably had more goals on the year. A brace tonight from the sophomore, Audrey Whippo. She was, the word that you have said many times, lethal. She was lethal in that first half.
Yeah, I completely understand kind of going through a spell where you're just not scoring goals, and sometimes that pressure can add and it takes longer and longer for you to finally get a goal. It's like the yips. But hopefully tonight that dam was broken. Came out, got 2 goals. She was on fire all night long. Such a fun player to watch, and especially in combination with her sister. They have a sense of where each other are, what each other's capabilities are, how far in front or behind they can play, and know that their sister's still going to get to that ball. Just a really fun pair of players to watch. And, Audrey came out with 2 goals tonight, which is why it goes to her over Ellie. But, yeah, it'll be exciting to see what they do and what the whole team does going forward this season.
Well, now little sister can have one of those customized T-shirts, courtesy of the Red Zone, to go and start challenging Ellie for that shirt collection. But MVP Insurance, again, proud to honor Audrey Whippo as tonight's MVP Insurance MVP of the game. And again, go to lcsportsnet.com, click on MVP of the game to see the full list of this year's game MVPs. Audrey Whippo, congratulations, tonight's MVP of the game. MVP Insurance, call MVP for the win. So again, Mohawk now 500 in section play at 2-2. They're 4-2 overall. Southside at the bottom of the section, 0-4, 0-6. A lot of good things that we saw from them. They just need to try to build it together and get a little more offense. Again, we hope a speedy recovery from Melania Pavlovich, especially for sure. Big thanks as always to Mr. Matt Laporte. Always so hospitable to us here at Mohawk High School. Big thanks to him. I'm only saying that because he's within earshot of me right now, but you know. No, I kid. He's the absolute best for sure. Always treats us with such great care. Big thanks to him. Great thanks to both Coach McCutcheon and Coach Cox. It was great talking to them before the game, getting us lots of great information on their squads as well. The crew tonight, Garen Dolan on cameras with Rob Nattel. Running the production here tonight, Matthew Flannery with Michael Greco. For my wonderfully awesome, amazing wife, again, that's only being said because she's in earshot, Alexa Dotson. Thanks to her for joining the fun. I'm James Dotson saying so long and stay tuned. We'll have volleyball tomorrow, the Beyond the Scoreboard podcast on Wednesday, and a doubleheader football Friday. Union hosting Western Beaver and Newcastle hosting Knock. For the entire Sportsnet crew, I'm James Dotson saying so long, and we'll see you next time on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.